Good morning, everybody. This is Gina, and I'm going to walk you through my curriculum advocacy map. My curriculum map is for the thinking maps, and that is what I did my research paper upon. My introduction, the implementation of thinking maps in the middle school science classroom. Regional personnel, district personnel, and teachers will work together to implement the use of thinking maps in the middle school science classroom. This thinking map language brings meaning and emotion together for the lifelong learning and is not just limited to the science classroom. Now, moving on to my support matrix. Support for thinking maps is really something that probably has always been around for a very long time. The use of thinking maps has not really been around for a very long time, the implementation of it. So in box A, we have high influence and opposed. Well, of course, your district and your district personnel and school administrators are of high influence. They are the ones that are going to tell the teachers what they can and cannot do. The parents and teachers do also have high influence, though, but they can also be opposed. Parents are opposed to a new way of learning, usually, until they understand what the true benefit is. And teachers are opposed to learning a new way of teaching until they learn to understand the benefit of that. Then on your support matrix, you have box B, which is high influence, high support. And you're seeing some of the same names pop up here because the people that have high influence that are opposed are also the same people that have high influence and support what we're trying to accomplish here. If your administration supports you, it is phenomenal. So much can get done. But if you're having to convince your colleagues and the administration, it just makes it so difficult. And as I said before, thinking maps are not something that are used every day in the classroom. So when you're asking your teachers to support something that's new, that's going to require them a bit more time to incorporate because they haven't done that before, well, that can create a little bit of pushback. But if your teachers will support you, your high influence and your support will automatically be there. Then we have box C, which is low influence and opposed. Students fall into the category of low influence and opposed because students would really like to watch TV and, eat a snack all day long. So they're kind of opposed to anything, especially something different like a thinking map. Your instructional coaches, it isn't so much that I feel they're opposed, it's just that is not something that they're going to jump in there and help you create. They're going to possibly give you the places to go for learning how to create it, but they're not really going to jump in there and do it because they're so overworked and they have so much going on. Then we have low influence and support. Students, parents, and teachers, we all have to do what we're told to do. Students have to do what we say, we have to do what the administration says. Then we have the influence matrix. Now, in box A, high influence and low influence. Your high influence is going to be your district personnel. If the district wants this rolled out and they want these thinking maps being taught in all classes every day, they will show you the data that proves how important they are, how much the visual learning helps along with just being given words to students. If you can put it on a piece of paper, make it into the map, and then they have the visual to go along with it. The district personnel wants it, it's going to be there. The students, even if the students are opposed to it, they're going to have to learn it that way. Then in box B, we have high importance, high influence. Now, high importance, high influence can also be the students. If the students are liking it and they're seeing that it helps them learn, students do like that reward of getting a high grade. Now, in middle school, a lot of times they try to oppose us and say they don't care about their grades. But if it's something that they can see that will help them, then they will attempt to master it. And one thing that has been found with the thinking maps is that they do see an increase in learning fairly quickly. It's not something, and it's really not a hard concept to teach. Then we also have, under high importance, high influence, RESA. Our RESA offices work regionally throughout the state to help students, to help teachers with a number of things that help influence students, typically professional learning. So hopefully what the goal is to be able to get my school and then to get my district and then possibly even RESA to incorporate more professional learning for the thinking maps being used in the classroom. Then we have low importance, low influence. I really don't like the fact that school administrators and teachers are regarded as low influence or low importance, especially when we're the ones that are right there on the front lines every day. But this really does pretty much go back to the fact that your district personnel and your state are the ones that are in charge and roll out the new policies that we must adhere to. Then we have low importance, high influence, where you do see teachers and parents have a huge amount of high influence over the student. Maybe not necessarily over the policies that are always rolled out, but over the student. And that is what all of this is for. It's for the student. It's not to see who has the most importance. It's not to say who is going to, shine in the spotlight of the press by rolling out this wonderful idea of using thinking maps. The bottom line is this is for the students, and that's what's the important part. And if you can get your teachers and your parents on board with the use of thinking maps and how it will help those students, you will see increased results. We have micro influences. Once again, I don't like being called a micro influence. I feel like I'm a huge influence, and I take that responsibility very seriously. But for the purposes of this program, I do understand why teachers fall under micro influences. We have our colleagues. The first people that we have to talk to get us to support us in trying to get these thinking maps rolled out and used all of the time in our classrooms are our colleagues. Some of our colleagues are going to be on board. Some of our colleagues are going to love it. Some of our colleagues are not going to care at all. So we just have to influence the ones that we can. And hopefully when those positive results come out, the others will follow. We also have our curriculum support teachers. Often in meetings, I have seen where people have wanted the curriculum support teachers to give them everything they need to do to teach what it is they want to teach. That's not what a curriculum support teacher does. The curriculum support teacher helps, and they will have a plethora of places to help us find and implement those thinking maps. And then we have our parents and our students. Our parents and our students have got to be on board with us. Those relationships with the parents and the students, they are the foundation of everything that we do in education. And if we have that and we can help them get on board with learning how important our thinking maps are, we will be set. We also have our macro influences. Now, our macro influences, I feel like a lot of times we as teachers feel like we are so detached from them. We feel like we can't get anything done at the district level, that the district goes elsewhere than us to listen to what will work. And that's not true. The thing is, we've just got to learn how to get on board with our district and get them on board with us. We've got to foster relationships that have great communication. Your county curriculum leader can help create thinking maps that align with state standards. The county curriculum leader can also coordinate workshops between the school and the district. And this is what the goal is, to get this going in the district. If we can get it in our school, then get it in our district, then we can go to West Georgia RESA for RESA support. The West Georgia RESA office can provide professional learning for teachers within and beyond the field of science, and that will allow all teachers in all content areas to be able to implement thinking maps in their classroom. Principals love when teachers come to them and say, hey, I want to go to professional learning. We want professional learning to be there for our RESA support. And then for my ending, I wanted to talk about references, and I think the best and the most comprehensive place to learn about thinking maps is www.thinkingmaps.com. They have any and every bit of information that you could possibly need, and it is a great way to further your understanding of thinking maps from beyond what I have presented today. Thank you, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.